Hey everyone, it's Rob with Passport to the Parks, and we are here at the Animal Kingdom today, and it is crazy overcrowded here today. I'm not sure what's going on, just another day, but it was terrible getting in, and the lines have been insane all day, and it's very hot. It's in the mid-90s today. But we're going to jump on Kilimanjaro Safaris, and I'm going to take you guys along with me. Always be sure to check out everything at passporttotheparks.com, see all kinds of cool videos and pictures and stories and stuff there. And check out everything on YouTube as well. Please subscribe over there if you would, and click that like button. It always helps. But today we're just going to be live. We're waiting for our vehicle to get up here. So give me 1 minute and I'll get you turned around. If you are planning a vacation down here to Florida, to Walt Disney World, make sure you check out my friends at Living with the Magic Vacations. You can find them at livingwithmagic.com, and they'll help get all your vacation needs booked for you. They're really great people there, so definitely check them out. So I'm going to turn you around, and we should be able to get in boarding here. I'm actually with my parents today. There's Mom.
Yep.
And there's Dad. So they're going to ride with us today. They're taking the easy way out in the scooters, and I got to walk the whole way in 95-degree weather. The old way. Yes. So it shouldn't take more than a minute to get loaded here, hopefully. Somebody leaving on their tour right now. Got to get everybody unloaded first, then they'll let us in so we can get loaded. Even the Fast Pass lines today have been crazy. I've been waiting about 15 or 20 minutes in each of the Fast Pass lines as well. We just rode the Navi River, and we waited about 20 minutes in the Fast Pass line there. They're like 2-hour wait times for all the Pandora rides.
I'm using your party.
Just 3?
Able to step up onto the truck? I am. Take row 7 for me. Row 7. Row 7. Last row.
All right, last row.
And you'll park right next to her on the side. Take your keys with you. Take rows 5 and 6.
Let them get loaded. You might need to pull up. You might need to pull up so she can get out. Can you get out? Maybe Dad needs. You can get out. Okay.
If you're wondering what you're going to see above you, that is an animal spine guide. Those are some of the animals.
Give a little help here. Maybe through the front, Mom. Probably better. Yep. Okay.
Before we make our way on in, please make sure you keep your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the truck. Out the entire visit, we do go through some fairly rough brush, and some of those bushes do have longer thorns. Now, it's also very important, as it gets very bumpy out here, that everybody remains fully and completely seated in the spot that they are currently in. Whether the truck is moving or not moving, or an adult or a kid, it gets bumpy out here. Now, if you do have a kid, they can sit on your lap or next to you, and make sure they stay seated though in that one location. Do not pass in between people, rows, or laps, or hold them up on your lap or in the air. Again, it gets bumpy. There are a lot of potholes. It's for everyone's safety. For the animal safety, though, there is absolutely no eating, drinking, or smoking while we're out here on the reserve. So make sure it's all fluid.
We're gonna wait for our bus to fill up here. So we'll watch some other trucks go by.
Now, first things first, before we start, the supplements are really important. One, I need everyone to stay completely seated, keep your arms inside of all hands throughout our journey. There's a little bit of bumpy out there, and there's going to be lots of pushing. It might be that long going on. So we want to make sure that we're being safe no matter what. Now, if you take pictures today, make sure that you hang on to those cameras and cell phones pretty tightly, because I am not authorized to stop or retrieve anything that could fall out of our truck. So any items of value like cameras or cell phones or remote.
So I can't drop my camera out in the middle of the field.
I think not. Not a good idea.
It does get a little bumpy.
spotting guide. Now, that would be an indication as to what we might see out there. Now, we're not going to see any of the animals. We have lots of pretty given. Great safari, sleeping lunch. Take a look above you. There's an animal spotting guide up there. May not see every animal on that guide today. We typically do have pretty good luck. I mean, we're taking pictures on the reserve time. Fully recommend this. It is photo safari. Camera up and
Yes,
ready.
this is everything that we're going to see out here today. Hopefully.
Anything with fast shutter speed done?
It's pretty hot out today, so
Pretty well.
don't know if we'll get lucky or not.
We got an all clear from the warden. Won't take too long. So it's a great time to place any loose belongings on the floor at your feet. You have an extra wrist strap for your camera. Definitely use it. Hope you ain't got that. Just a little bit tighter. And for those little ones, they are more than welcome to be seated on our lap. It's 10 to help them see out here.
You guys are just coming on. We're waiting to get on Kilimanjaro Safaris here. We're just waiting for our vehicle to fill up.
Jumbo, everybody, and welcome aboard Kilimanjaro Safaris.
Alright, Jumbo everyone, my name is Shannon. I'm going to be your safari guide for today. Now we are going to wait just a little bit longer for the truck behind us to get a little bit closer to the dock so the next people behind you have the ability to get out of the truck and head out onto the reserve as well. During this time, if you want to check out the safari spotting guide right above your head, a lot of those animals will be able to see out there on the reserve. Now, a lot of those animals are migratory and they travel around a lot. They do have set migratory patterns they love to use. So we may not see them all, but we do get pretty lucky. And if you have any loose objects, now will probably be a really good time to put them down by your feet. Especially those Mickey ears ball caps. If they do fly overboard, I can't stop to pick them up for you. It will notify someone it's been dropped at a later time, although I can't promise it'll be returned to you in the same fashion you left it in. It's quite the drop to the ground for this truck.
Alright, just waiting for another vehicle to go by and we should get going. I think 1:30. And it starts at 2.
Yeah.
The great thing about Safaris is they change every
It's just going to be for a couple of seconds, so I would go ahead. See those cameras out now. Have them ready to go. Here and around maybe like stage with day. That does we might see those animals. And just because we might stop for them. Jumbo again. If anyone doesn't know what Jumbo means, it does mean hello in Swahili. Probably learned quite a few different Swahili words as we head out there today. Now I do ask that everyone try to remain seated for me at all times, with their hands, arms, legs, and feet inside the vehicle at all times. It does get rather rough and bumpy out there on the reserve. There will be bushes near us with very long thorns, so we want to keep everyone safe. And that includes young ones on laps. If they are seated on your lap, that's perfectly okay. Just making sure they remain seated on your lap for the entire duration of our exploration through the reserve. I'd rather not see them lifted into the air like a baby lion. Alright, we are headed out into Harambe Wildlife Reserve. Many different ecosystems here on Harambe. The first one we're entering is a forest called Little Ituri Forest. Little Ituri Forest is home to a lot of different interesting animals, majority of which that can be pretty well camouflaged. They can blend in with the rocks, trees, bushes around them, and it will be their first line of defense. Definitely keep your eyes out for any movement.
It's going to be a bumpy ride through here, guys, so.
left, I do see quite a few animals laying down. Antelope. Bongos. They also get the nickname ghosts of the forest. Their stripes will help break up their appearance, silhouette within the shadows and bushes. Looks like there's a baby between the two there. Both male and female bongos will have long curved back horns, and those curved back horns help a lot for them to travel underneath the underbrush of a forest very quickly to get away from predators.
I see.
Now up ahead I do see a couple of antelope way on top of a hill as well. So we're going to come around this bend and probably get a pretty good view of them. They are greater kudu. You look up on your right, up that hill. Greater kudu are the second tallest antelope on the reserve, and those seem to be female. The males have horns around 6 feet long. Off to your left, you're going to be able to see a black rhino.
He's back there.
Black rhinos are browsers. They eat a lot of different kinds of plants. To help them do this, their upper lip is pointed and prehensile. It's used like a finger to grip those leaves off of bushes and trees. Very helpful since they live in a forest ecosystem. Looks like there's one laying down in the shade here as well. Now, sadly, there are less than 5,000 black rhinos left in existence. They are being poached for their horns that are made of keratin. It's the same material found in your hair and nails. Some people believe it has a type of medicinal property to it, although science has proven this is certainly not the case, and there's no real reason to be poaching and selling these horns illegally on the black market, especially when keratin can be found right at your fingertips. Alright, we are going to go further into the forest. The further we go, we are going to get to a pretty popular watering hole where animals like to congregate and socialize. It is a river. It's called Safi River. Sometimes out this way we can find some pretty cool water-dwelling animals like Nile crocodiles and Nile hippopotamus. Let's see what we can find. Looks like we're going to get a pretty good view of a hippopotamus further on ahead. Hippopotamus actually means seahorse, although they're not really related to horses at all. They're more closely related, loosely related, to the porpoise or whale. Off to your right next to that log, looks like one's resting in the water. They do spend a majority of the day in the water to stay cool.
Yeah. He's big.
Quite a few off to the left here as well. A group of hippopotamus can be called a bloat.
There they are. Oh, look at the vultures up there.
They will get around 5,000 pounds in weight.
See the vultures up there?
They do have very strong legs that help them push off the bottom of a river to swim around. And once they're on land, when it's cool enough,
pelicans too.
Nighttime, they can run around 35 miles per hour. Their mouths are pretty cool too. They can open around 5 feet wide. Strong enough to break a watermelon.
And birds are after something.
Oh my.
Lovely.
Alright, we're going to cross the bridge right up ahead over the Safi River, and off to the left I see Nile crocodiles.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh.
That's
They get
not
around
where I want to
16
land
to
up.
20 feet long, weigh up to 500 pounds, and eat about half of their body weight. The main diet will consist of fish. However, they can eat things larger than themselves, like wildebeest and zebras. To help them do this, they do have a bite pressure of around 2,000 pounds per square inch. Now, because they do have such a strong bite, they lose the occasional tooth. Lucky for them, though, they can consistently replace those teeth throughout their lifetime, unlike humans. Alright, we're going to exit the forest and enter the savanna ecosystem. A lot of different plants and animals here. We're going to see a really cool tree, the baobab tree, around on our right. Baobab trees are called upside down trees by locals because those branches look like roots. You may know it a little better as the tree of life. Might have seen a much more magical one earlier on in the day. The reason they got the nickname tree of life is because they hold hundreds of liters of water in their trunks that can be used by animals on the savanna during times of drought. They desperately need that source. Alright, as we enter the savanna further, you're going to notice it's very open and flat here. Fewer places to hide. So animals rely heavily on mobility and agility to survive here instead of camouflage. I do see some smaller antelope that are going to be on our right among the bushes in the shade there. Now, we probably will get a better view of them as we come around, so can't really spot them out there, not to worry. Those are springbok.
Oh, okay.
They look pretty small, but they actually get about 3 feet tall, so depending on who you are, they can come right up to your hips. And they can spring 6 feet into the air from a staying position, 13 feet forward. Seems like there's quite a few animals out in the distance, so we're going to come around and get a better look. Now, every once in a while, off to the left, resting in the shade, you can spot the occasional African wild dog. Definitely keep an eye out for them. I do believe there's one by the rock wall out there. African wild dogs like to hang out in packs. They're also called ninja dogs because they're beautiful coats.
This one laying down right there.
Even though dog is in their name, they are actually more closely related to the fox. They chirp instead of bark, and they have 4 toes instead of 5. Incredible hunters, have incredible endurance to wear out their prey. They're more successful at hunting than big cats like lions and cheetahs. And off to your left, you're going to be able to see some sable antelope. Those antelope with the big curved back horns that are slightly red. They are the official emblem of Harambe Wildlife Reserve. And the animals you see with the big white horns are Ankole cattle, the only domesticated animals you'll see on the reserve. And crossing our path is a herd of white-bearded wildebeest. White-bearded wildebeest can also be called gnu, spelled G-N-U, after a low grunting noise they make. White-bearded wildebeest are the cause of the biggest migration in the world. 1.5 million of them
That's what
walk
Simba and
across the
Mufasa
planet
like.
each year looking for food and water. Herds can either consist of females and their young, and males will go off and form small bachelor herds. Getting another close look at some Ankole cattle here off to your left. Their horns are pretty impressive. They get around 6 feet long. They're not too heavy though. They're slightly hollow inside with a honeycomb infrastructure and blood vessels. Those blood vessels will cool off and their horns pop back into their body and cool down their body during hot days. And Ankole cattle are not used for milk or meat. They are a symbol of wealth. So the more Ankole cattle you have and take care of, the wealthier you will be. They're also a form of currency among many tribes. Now among us at the moment are some pretty interesting looking trees. Those are acacia trees. They are the giraffe's favorite snack. And there is a giraffe among the bushes ahead of us. So let's see if we can get a better look.
There he is up there. On the hill. There he comes.
So, off to the right, you can see some small springbok laying down on the grass. A little bit better view of them. And off to the left, that giraffe among the trees. Giraffes do get around 20 feet tall. A group of them standing still can be called a tower. If they're traveling together in motion, they can be called a journey.
There's a couple more over here.
I know. I see, baby.
Now the giraffes we see out here so far are Maasai giraffes. Their patches are very jagged looking. They're one of several subspecies. On the Safari Spotting Guide, you can actually see a reticulated giraffe. And their coats are much more net-like, more solid lines and patches. Looks like there's quite a few more giraffes off to the left there. Their tongues are really cool.
Oh yeah,
They
that
are
one's eating off the tree.
Like a black rhino's upper lip, they'll use those tongues like a hand to grip those leaves on the bushes and trees.
Yeah, I know.
They do get around 18 inches long. Depending on who you are, it's about the length of your forearm. Alright, we're going to head towards Timbo County. Timbo is Swahili for elephant. Sometimes we can see the occasional elephant or two along the border here. Now as we head further into Timbo County, we might be able to spot a herd. Off to the left, I actually see a mandrill walking around. They are the largest monkeys and Africa. They get around 100 pounds. Looks like there's a fairly young one there.
You see him?
And then I do see
Up in the woods here, right
a much
in
older
here.
one sitting down.
There they are, a couple of them.
That's actually the most dominant mandrill. They have the most vibrant colors. They are the largest. Those colors are so that they can see, the troop can see him among the bushes of a forest. And off to the right, I do see an African elephant far in the distance. Looks like it's headed to the red clay pits. So we're gonna head there as well.
There he is.
Looks like it perhaps is a male. Seems to be alone. They live pretty solitary lives. You don't see them. Not a large herd unless it's made.
I haven't seen the elephants in my last couple rides.
Looks like that road is closed though. So we'll just have to go to the bypass bridge. Certainly not my favorite bridge. Very old and rickety. We'll have to take it going pulley, very slowly. Definitely cross your fingers and toes. Looks like it perhaps was put back together with rope and tape. That's not good. Okay, lean to the right. Lean to the right.
Almost bit it.
Righted itself. Someone perhaps didn't cross their fingers and toes back there. But you know what? It's a pretty good shortcut. If we took that road back there that was closed, it'd take us about 2 weeks to get to the red clay pits. But we're getting here in the nick of time. I do see signs of elephants ahead of us. They've been digging up the red clay and eating it with their tusks. The red clay will give them minerals they sometimes can't find in their diet. Many elephants off in the distance to the left. So we'll come around and see if we can get a better view. Now a herd of elephants will be run by a matriarch, the wisest oldest female in the group. Elephants can live to be around 60 years old in the wild. So that's a lot of knowledge they can compile over the years.
You guys see him right back here? Right there?
No.
Huh?
One of my favorites.
Yeah.
Elephants are pretty cool for many reasons. One of them being their trunks.
Bunch of them.
Their trunks are fully prehensile, nimble enough to pick up a single blade of grass. They do have more muscles in their trunk than the human body. And those trunks can act like a straw. They can hold around 5 gallons of water.
Still more over here.
Look, Hunter. Look.
All right.
Oh, you flap these ears for you.
Their ears are pretty cool too. Not only are they big and look like the continent of Africa, best way to identify an African elephant really, but they have a lot of blood vessels in them, sort of like the Ankole cattle. Those blood vessels will cool down, especially if they flap their ears back and forth. They can actually ultimately cool down their bodies around 15 degrees. Off to the left, you're going to see a lot of greater flamingos. They are the lightest pink of the flamingo species. Pretty tall too. They can get around 5 feet tall. Baby flamingos will be born with gray feathers. They don't get their pink feathers until about a year or 2 old. They actually get their pink color from eating a lot of shrimp.
Really?
Alright, it looks like we're headed to white rhino territory here. Off to the left. Looks like there's some mud wallows that white rhinos love to use. They roll around in the mud to stay cool. It's also a natural sunscreen and bug repellent. So we'll see if we can find any. Looks like there's 1 or 2 off to our right here. Now white rhinos will be grazers instead of browsers. Those wide mouths will help them eat really close to the ground. That's actually how they got their name. They're not white rhinos, they're white rhinos. And white is Afrikaans for wide. White rhinos will be a little bit heavier than their cousin the black rhinos. They get around 5,000 pounds compared to the 3,000. Now sometimes around this area off to the left we can them pretty good camouflage, so definitely keep your eyes out. They can blend in really well. Sometimes only the flick of a tail or turn of a head or an ear will give them away. Now I do see at least one cheetah. It's a little hard to see. It's going to be about 10 o'clock. They're laying next to an old log. There's 2 of them there.
Yeah, there. Right here.
Laying down in the shade. The flake flickers their tails back and forth there. Come around. I'll come around this way. Pull the pulley very slowly.
Right in here, guys.
You guys can see them at all.
Right up next to the fence.
Fastest animals on land. They can clock around 60 miles per hour. They have long tails that help them to keep their balance and turn directions while they are running. Alright, we're headed to the Kopi Rocks, a popular place to see a pride of lions, and it looks like there's a male lion laying down ahead of us. Now, lions are nocturnal, much more active at night. They do rest around 20 hours a day.
See him up on the hill? Right there.
Male lions do have those characteristic manes, and those manes will start growing around a year old. Looks like perhaps there's a lioness laying down behind him there. Now once the sun goes down, they do go out hunting, and the females will be the ones to go out and hunt while the male stays behind with the younger ones that can't hunt yet. Protect them. Quite a few white rhinos and zebra and ostrich off to our right. We'll come around, probably get a better view of them though.
Oh yeah,
Not to worry.
zebras. And big
Now,
ostrich.
lions at night, their eyesight will get 6 times better. They do have thickly padded paws that help them walk silently across the ground to sneak up on their prey. And they can run around 45 miles per hour and leap 20 feet into the air.
I haven't seen the ostrich out here either.
There is one.
Yeah, I know. I'm seeing everything today. It's
You
a
see
good.
a lot of burrows off to our left here. Those are usually created by warthogs. Looks like there's at least 1 or 2 laying down far in the distance. Oh, there's actually 3 there.
Yeah, see him
Largest
Right in
burrowing
the center there.
animals in Africa.
Oh, yeah.
laying down.
Use their snouts and hooves to build those tunnels and live in them.
Yep. Yeah.
Coming up on our right, we're going to see quite a few grand zebras. They have wide stripes that wrap around their belly and black noses. Best way to identify them. They're one of several subspecies of plains giraffe. Quite a few ostrich and white rhinos out this way
Ostrich,
too. Now those ostrich you see are female. They have gray feathers. The males have black feathers. Does look like there's some ostrich eggs there too. Makes sense. The females are communal
Big
layers.
rhino
They
out there,
lay
too.
all their eggs in one big nest
All the way in the
together.
back.
Yeah, rhino back there.
White rhinos, as you can tell, are pretty social animals. They love to stay in small groups together, called a clash. Now those white rhinos you see there, they do have pretty sensitive skin, but it also is around 2 inches thick, so they don't really have any natural predators. The only threat to them out in the wild will be poaching and habitat loss. Alright, we're headed to Magadi Glen. Pretty lush green environment. A lot of water here. It is a newer addition to the reserve. Wanted to add more land to give back to these animals since they are facing so many threats caused by humans. So a lot of the animals don't have migratory patterns set here yet, but we can still see the occasional cool animal, like the big white birds I see laying on the ground to our right. Those are yellow-billed storks. They're actually carnivores. They only eat meat. They like to live by the water.
Yeah.
So they eat a lot of fish, snakes, and frogs, things found in and near the water. They are also opportunistic. They will eat any meat that'll fit into their bill. A lot of insects, mice, and even the occasional smaller bird are not out of the question. Alright, looks like we are heading out of Harambe Wildlife Reserve here and back to Harambe Village. And I would like to say thank you. Swahili phrase for thank you is Asante Sana. So Asante Sana, everyone, for joining me out here today on Kilimanjaro Safari. Hope you learned something new about the animals you love and I love so passionately. And hopefully grew a greater appreciation for them. And if we have any wilderness explorers on board, you have been riding on Simba 1. That's the name of this truck. Simba 1. Simba is actually Swahili for lion. As we head back towards the Gordon's Post, I'm actually going to drop you off where I picked you up. And as we head back towards our dock, you might want to double check those rows, make sure you have all your valuables. It's quite a bumpy ride. Sometimes things fall out of pockets, and it's quite the travel back to Africa if you forget anything. Alright, we're going to keep trekking along here. And if you want to help these animals out in the wild that we've seen here today in Africa, the best way to do that is by recycling. Recycling papers, plastics, electronics, many more items can help have a positive impact on these animals' lives out in the wild who are witnessing so much habitat loss. Homes are shrinking at a very fast rate. So by recycling papers, plastics, electronics, many more, we can make a positive impact. Harambe does mean working together and coming together. So as we come together to help these animals out, maybe we can improve all their lives for the better. We are getting pretty close to the dock here. Here in Harambe, we don't like to say goodbye. It is much too sad and far too final. We certainly do want to see you again sometime real soon. So we like to leave with the Swahili phrase, Kwaherini. And Kwaherini does mean go well. So Kwaherini, friends, go well and have a wonderfully wild adventure out in the animal kingdom this afternoon, wherever your travel may take you. As we approach the dock here, I am going to make a lot of loud screeching noises with the truck in the dock. That's actually a good sign. It means I'm getting as close to the dock as possible so you don't have to leap off. We're just going to wait for our friends ahead of us to start on their journey. You'll be right on your way. And if you are interested in seeing more animals, you can always head over to Gorilla Falls Exploration Trail. It'll be immediately on your left as you exit this ride.
Hey Victoria, how are you?
Right, you'll see colobus monkeys.
Yeah, it's a good day today.
Animals of Africa. The further on you go,
It's very hot today and it's very crowded at the animal kingdom. But we just had probably one of the best safaris that I've had.
There's also naked mole rats, meerkats, and some amazing animals. There's also local
So I hope you guys
representatives of
enjoyed the
Africa.
Kilimanjaro Safari.
Show you how they interact with these
Say
animals
bye,
on
Mom
a
and Dad.
daily basis. Really
Bye.
amazing people.
Aloha.
See you again.
This was definitely one of the best safaris that I've been on. I got to see all kinds of cool animals. Hope you guys got to enjoy that. Make sure to check out passporttotheparks.com as always. See all kinds of cool stuff there.
Right, my friends,
And
here we go.
I think we're just about to dock here, so we will talk to you guys soon. We're actually going to head over to the Lion King.
For joining me out here
We'll
today.
be there around 2
Walker
o'clock
Reading.
or so to see the Lion King show, so
Y'all
if you
have
want
a
to join me back
wonderful
for
day
that,
out there.
I should be going live for that as well. Thanks guys for being here. We'll talk to you.